Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's YunKs. Today, I'll be going over the Monte Carlo. This is an exotic auto rifle, and I did pick one of these up from my 50 exotic engram openings video. But anyway, guys, let's get right into it. The first thing I am going to do with the Monte Carlo is compare with the service regime, so you guys do get an idea of the stats on this auto rifle. So let's take a look. As you can see, the Service has less fire rate, much more impact, a little more range, less stability, less reload, and less in the mag. Okay, so this is a high rate of fire, low impact auto rifle, but this is not too high where it's a bullet hose like the Doctrine of Passing or the Arminius. So let's get right into it, guys. Now my attack is 310, and I probably will eventually get this higher, and I know I do say that about all my weapons, but whatever, guys. Now we got our sights here, so you can be ballistics, smart drift control, and aggressive ballistics. Now smart drift control will increase my stability just a tad bit and reduce my range a very little bit, and the aggressive ballistics will actually increase my impact, reduce my range a tiny bit, and decrease my stability quite significantly. Now I have tried aggressive ballistics out, and it does increase your damage just a little bit though, but I still prefer that stability over the impact. So I would go with smart drift control. That's what I personally go with, but remember, guys, it's really up to you. Now we got hip fire. This weapon has bonus accuracy while firing from the hip. All right, not too bad. High caliber rounds, oversized rounds built to stagger targets and leave them reeling. Their mass makes a weapon harder to handle. Now we got Send It, increases range and accuracy, harder to handle, decreases ammo capacity, okay, and Field Scout, increases carried ammo capacity. All right, now I personally go with Send It, and I would highly recommend Send It, but remember, guys, it's really up to you. And with Send It on, you will be able to hold 379 shots total with your auto rifle, and that is not including if you have armor that will increase your ammo capacity for auto rifles. And if you have Field Scout on, you will be able to hold 561 bullets, so that is quite significant, but I still personally would go with Send It. That's what I do, guys. Now Monte Carlo method, the last and main perk on this auto rifle. Dealing damage with this weapon reduces your melee cooldown and grants a chance to fully charge your melee ability with each kill. Alright, not too bad of a perk. We will get into this a little bit later on. Now let's take a look at the aesthetics. Alright, pretty unique looking weapon, and it looks absolutely sick with this blade in front. Let's get right into the gameplay now, guys. So the very first thing I did with the Monte Carlo was take it to the Abyss here in Crota's End Raid to test how fast I could possibly get my melee back in the action. I am using my Warlock with Flame Shield right here, and pay close attention to the bottom left corner of the screen at that melee bar. Now you will see it jump completely up, and that is because on each kill you do have a chance for it to completely regenerate, and if you don't get it to completely regenerate on each shot, it'll actually reduce your cooldown just a little bit. So not too bad, guys. Now the very next thing I did with the Monte Carlo was take it to the Ultra Knight here in the Dreadnought to see how fast I could possibly put him down. Now it took me about 14 seconds using 2.5 magazines, and I was doing 379 damage to the head. Alright, there are faster DPS guns out there. Anyway, guys, we're moving right along to PvP. Now with the Monte Carlo, you will be dealing 20 damage to the head and 16 damage to the body, and of course this all depends at what range you are at, guys. If you are too far away, you will not get these numbers. Now it'll take about 10 headshots to put somebody down, or about 13 body shots to put somebody down. Now if you do have aggressive ballistics on, the last sight I was talking about earlier, you will be dealing 21 damage to the head and 17 damage to the body. Okay, so it does make a little bit of a difference, guys, but I still personally prefer that stability over that one extra damage. But remember, it's really up to you guys. And I do have a few recommended builds while you're using the Monte Carlo. Now, first of all, whatever character you're running, run 100% strength if you can with all your armor. Run that strength. This will help out that Monte Carlo method a lot. Now, if you are a Warlock, run Claws of Ahamkar if you have them. If you're a Titan, run the Insurmountable Skull Fort. If you are a Hunter, run the Sealed Ahamkar Grasp. Now, all of these armors that I just mentioned will give you a second melee charge, going very, very well with the Monte Carlo if you are running an up close and personal melee build with your characters. But anyway, now I'm going to talk a little bit about how the Monte Carlo felt to me while I was using it in the Crucible. Now, this auto rifle felt absolutely amazing and very, very smooth. It was easy for me to get kills and double kills using the Monte Carlo, and I was actually surprised on how good it was to me. This weapon does come with fairly high stability, giving it very little recoil, which made it easy for me to land headshots and put down my enemies very, very quickly because of its high rate of fire. Overall, I had a lot of fun with the Monte Carlo, more fun than I thought I would have, and it did not take me long whatsoever to get the footage for you guys. Now, personally, I do think this is more of a PvE weapon because of its main perk, the Monte Carlo method, you know, killing ads, getting your melee, killing ads, getting your melee, but it was still very, very good in PvP, but I was not really using that perk to my advantage in PvP. I was more just like killing enemies with the auto rifle itself instead of focusing on that perk. But let me know if you guys run a build with the Monte Carlo in PvP, or do you think this is more of a PvE weapon like I do? Anyway, guys, that's really it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed the video and stuff for the support. I'd highly appreciate it.